Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I never seen you get up this early.
It's been a struggle.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hey. Happy 11/11, everybody. Um, I just wanted, I was talking to Brother Todd yesterday, and we were decided to do something spontaneous for 11/11. And Marina, who is with us in spirit and hopefully on in the comments, but not live, her and I have been kind of birthing something together. And we didn't even know the reason she's not here right now is because this was so spontaneous. We didn't discuss coming on. But a few weeks ago, I had this kind of like a vision in my sleep, and I saw these beautiful faces, and I heard a name, and I heard the poetry of truth, a circle of love. And I called Marina and I told her about my dream and told her what I experienced. And she, for those of you who don't know, Marina she did, she just created the website for Soulogy. She's created Real Talk with Melissa, The Word with Me. She's behind all of the art that's been coming out. And so I told her about the vision, and I told her that what I felt was one spirit, one face, one voice. An experience that was completely facilitated by the power of the unified heart, where when everyone comes together, all you will feel is really the vibrational frequency of the new paradigm, the new human, where everything's coming into congruence, and where the almost like the personality or each person's dissolving, and you're just feeling pure light within each form. And Sister Saskia, I talk about this all the time. You wrote about what's happening with collaboration in the new paradigm, and you said it's a symbiosis now, where light's all coming together and it's infusing. So when I reached out to Marina, I told her about the dream, and I told her what I was experiencing. And so she was like, all right, let me sit with it and get back to you. She called me later on that night and she said, I connected with the spirit of the intention, and she created a symbol, which we'll post after this. And she wasn't able to join us, but she wrote to me and she told me that this is what's behind the symbol. She said, it's wholeness, truth, yin and yang, the Trinity energy. The two circles are our energy, and the middle is the new creation. Each participant creating with truth and pure love. The Trinity came with the inspiration of Morgan, and two energies coming together to create a new energy from unconditional love. The feathers represent the lightness, the raven, messengers and bearers of knowledge. They can also be seen as the swords of truth that cut through the veil, all encapsulated in the sacred circle. So this is the symbol that came through Marina. And brother, because this was spontaneous, Marina and Martin weren't able to join us. But brother Martin is also going to be participating. And if you actually see, there was a lot of intention behind, besides what I just read that came through Marina. There's also, if you see, the divine masculine and the divine feminine within each form, but also being mirrored through the male and female in the external. So Todd and Morgan in that like energy, Melissa and Martin in their like energy, and then Saskia and myself. So it's supposed to create an entire balance and equilibrium of frequency. And so we just kind of wanted to come on and talk about it. And something that I was asking myself when this came through is what's the purpose? What's the intention? What's this supposed to create? And what came to me is right now, there's a lot of energy, a lot of confusion, a lot of affliction. And I know that some of us have talked about how it's kind of hard to anchor sometimes, and why a lot of us stay back is because of all of the cacophony and all of the loud frequency. So I thought it would be really powerful to bring an intention where something comes together and everyone dissolves into the intention, into the love. So that was the intention. And I think that I feel deep inside that it's going to create a powerful wave, because like I said, it's going to be one face, one voice. And I talked to Morgan and Saskia about it. The inspiration in this circle will literally come from each person's heart. So the facilitation in itself will be based off of how we're moved from heart to heart, and how spirit responds to spirit without. And yeah, that's the intention. And I'm just happy to be sharing space with all of you on 11/11. Brother Todd.
Can I pass? No, I think it's a great idea. And I think that that's what we're all doing, is we're getting used to the new way to navigate, which is, everything's organic. And, so none of the Mickey Mouse, junior high, bubblegum BS, none of the old programs and behaviors and patterns dominating our daily life. And we're just allowing this to happen. Richard Melchizedek talked about this on the last show, how things just, you allow them to sprout before you, and things start to align. So I think this is it's a beautiful living metaphor of what's occurring, because it's not created, it's creating, and like he said on the last show, you show up and see what happens next. I don't know if everybody's order is the same, but sometimes it helps to go in a circle. I see it's me. I don't know what it looks like on the screen, but it's Melissa's at 12 o'clock, then Morgan, Saskia, Michael, and me. So I guess, Melissa, you're at the top of the ladder there.
Well,
you're up.
No, I'm absolutely humbled to be a part of this, and I think now more than ever that it's imperative that we unify and speak our truth and speak from our hearts. And that I love the idea of what you've created with the circle. There is absolutely no planning involved here, as we all both know this evening. It's it's spontaneity and it's transparency, and like Todd said, we just show up, but we show up from the best place with the best intention, and that's to, you know, for me, it's just to spread that love, to spread that truth. And I'm really, really blessed and really humbled to be among you guys. I really appreciate it. It's an absolute honor. So thank you. I have no idea what's coming. I have no idea how it's going to go. And I absolutely love this for a change. Instead of resisting this, I love it. I love the uncertainty. So yeah, Morgan.
I'm the same as you. I've got no idea what's happening, but I'm very excited with Michael's dream and the idea of playing in oneness, and seeing what's going on, seeing what's going to happen. Like you, Melissa, I've got no idea where Michael's going to take it, but I'm 100% open and, yeah, really looking forward to it.
I kept, while you were talking, I kept hearing and feeling the word convergence of the heart. And I'm feeling it so strongly right now. I'm having a hard time speaking, actually, because it's literally running through my body. And it's so powerful. I want to share a little story with you, which happened today. And it's all connected to this happening, to this beautiful meeting as well, but to the overall meeting of souls through the heart at the moment. If I may, just while I can talk. At 11:11 today. Now, first of all, I have to say I'm not usually a number person. I don't really follow all the number dates where we're supposed to do this and that. But today I really very strongly feel like I wanted to sit in meditation at 11:11. So I did. I just calmed my mind. I calmed myself. No, I was in a silent space of emptiness and not any intention of focusing on anything in particular, just empty and open, and it was beautiful. And I was immediately sent to where, surprise, surprise, to the big pyramid, where I was set in the king's chamber for a little while. I was sitting in the center of the king's chamber, not in the and while I sat there, I felt rays of light coming from all directions of the universe. They were all converging into this very place I was sitting in. It was not, I have to say, it was not about me at all. It was not about that. It was something I had to share later. And I could see all these rays coming in, and it was an amazing spectacle. It felt like fireworks, but the beautiful kind, no noise, just beauty. And I was there receiving, saying yes, and receiving. And then suddenly I felt the rose ray coming from Venus. It was very clear, it made itself very clear, rose ray from Venus, coming very gently. And then a rose manifested. Now it looked very much like an earthly rose, but it was not quite an earthly rose. And it was placed on my heart. And I broke down in tears. It was incredibly powerful and incredibly special. It was placed on my heart, and I was only asked if I was willing to receive it. And I said yes. And the rose entered my heart. I had to feel this process. And then later, and I will get to that later at a later point, just receive. That's it. Receive through your heart. It took me a long time to recover emotionally from this one. I cried for a long time. It was very powerful. And hard to speak about it. Later, when I had calmed down a little bit, I was asked to share this with everyone today. This was given to everyone on earth today. It is a gift. It is more than a gift. It is a special dispensation in form of a rose placed on everyone's heart as an invitation. Now, it is for everyone to decide whether they want it or not, and there is no judgment, nothing. It is just a gift. But it is literally placed on everyone's hearts, high hearts, here. It is there, and it is for everyone to say yes or no, thank you. This is not just a nice little rose. This is an incredible gift. And you will see, you will feel what it means to the whole. And this is for all of us. And it has made the importance of our hearts, of staying in our hearts, how the rose blooms from the heart through everyone on the planet who is willing to step forward and to come together as such at this very time. There are side effects to this, which I immediately experienced, as Melissa knows. Something very painful happened directly afterwards, which is my core wound in this lifetime, my relationship with my son. And my heart had to crack wide open for the rose to enter even deeper. And this is actually just being made very clear at this very moment as I'm speaking to you. And this will happen to individual degrees to everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
It is not all light and fluffy and rosy. It is extremely powerful, and it is incredibly sacred, and it is what we are. It is what we are in truth. It is there to remind us and to fully anchor into us if we're willing to do so. There is so much more to say about, but I can't at this moment. I don't want to take over here so much. I just needed to share this because this was given to me, and it is for everyone, through everyone, not one above the other. And I am shaking at this moment. I'm shaking, and yes.
Sister Sister Saskia, thank you. And Morgan, you talked about this yesterday to me. So I'm gonna go out of order and go back to you in the circle, if I may, because you and Saskia had the same experience then, but I remember you were telling me last night.
Yeah. Yes, I was sitting here listening to, oh my goodness, what fabulous confirmation validation. So 2 nights through a channeling, we were told that in the next few days that all of us are going to have the gift of bringing all of our fractured parts all as one, but there was something that had to be done in order for that to occur. And the information I got was that we would have to address our core wounds around shame. And when we looked at what is our core wound around shame and zero pointed it, neutralized it, then the gift of oneness within self would occur, where not only our inner child, our toddler, our fetus, our teenager, our young adult, but also all of our galactic aspects, all of our Arcturian parts, our Pleiadian parts and everything would all come together as one, and that we would have access to all of that information at once in this here and now in any moment that we chose. So I'm listening to you, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is the same energy. I mean, I might have got it in this way, but I so resonated with what you experienced today. Incredible. Thank you so much, Saskia. Great validation.
Thank you, Morgan. That's amazing. Amazing.
And I think that I posted 2 days ago, and I want to share what came through. And this is it's the synchronicity right now is that you see the rose. Morgan sees that in order to cross this threshold, all fractal aspects must move in to alignment. And then this poem came before I went to sleep. Every tear has led you to this moment, chasing sunsets and wishing on stars. You have bled countless moments in your life. You have bathed in insurmountable pain. You have been stripped bare. Your guilt and your shame set fire in love's flame. Everyone that told you that you were not enough has disappeared. The moment that you recognized everything as yourself, faces turned into mirrors and scars burned into stars. Let it all die. Culture to human, religion to heart, nationalism to oneness, ideation to creator, status to infinite nothingness. If you want to feel the light of your spirit, you must fall beneath your skin. In order to experience the power of the Christ with reckless abandonment, you must turn away from the culture of God. If you want to remember who you are, you must honor the death of everything that you have ever been. Everything that the human has ever known is dead. Don't be afraid. This is what you long for. This is what has kept you up at night. This is the love that you have looked for in others, but have never found. This is the thirst that has yet to be quenched. Beneath all the layers of what you have been conditioned to believe, beneath every mask that you have worn, and beneath every role that you have ever played, you remain shackled, waiting for yourself. Remember, when God dies, God wakes. When every wound has been filled with the immortal light of the Spirit, the eyes of eternity will claim form. So I feel what's happening is all of these forms that are vibrating at the same frequency are receiving the same information through whatever way their heart translates. And that's why even with this live, like Brother Todd it's part of his blueprint is he could just do anything at any moment. And what I'm finding for myself and coming into this moment is there's one of my favorite Sioux Indian quotes is, "The longest journey you will take is from your head to your heart."
Mm.
That's a metaphor for transcending and shifting consciousness from the conceptual bisection of duality and moving back into the immortal realm where the spirit comes back into the heart and then is able to come back into the world. And so what I'm realizing is, like, even in moments like this is a profound offering, because we're showing that we're moving from thinking, feeling, speaking from the mind back to thinking, feeling, and speaking from the heart, which is Sister Saskia and Sister Morgan's vision. And it's new. It's like we're babies. We're being birthed again. We used to recycle all of the conditioned thoughts that have been stored. We were more mechanical. And now we're literally moving with the flow, and we don't know what comes next. We don't, like, I didn't know I was going to share that, but you both speak, and then I feel what's meant to come next. We're moving into a feeling experience rather than a thinking experience. And I know that when you talk about the convergence, when both of you talk about the convergence, it's vibrationally, there's many forms that have been in the back that have reached a certain ratio of light where that light's starting to reflect through the heart. And this convergence is happening because the collective intention through the one heart, through the one universe, is to shift back into unity consciousness. So now hearts are emerging and they're coming back together to create something in a collective way that we haven't ever seen. Brother Todd.
I woke up today in a
I knew that was coming.
Well, we got to break it up a little bit. There's wisdom in the humor. I don't really have anything to say. I mean, you guys are what you guys are. Why Soulogy was formed to provide a platform for these emerging sacred voices, right? The only thing I can add to this is that I can't really relate to the shame part of it. I think I don't know that I dealt with all my shame. I don't know what the deal is, but I can certainly relate to the death, right? I told Morgan again last night after telling her the night before, I'm fucking done with this. Let it be done. Now, what I didn't get until Michael spoke was to revere those deaths, those parts that are dying, right? So that's going to make it a little easier for me tonight, and hopefully it won't be a replay of the last two nights. But I also feel like it's settled. It's kind of permeated, integrated, aligned, whatever. And I do feel it's happening to everybody. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I can definitely relate to the death aspect. And for me, I don't know if it is or isn't the part of me that's brought the core wound of shame, but it's definitely the biggest part of me that's not me, that's dying. And about 85 or 90% of it's out the door now. But so now I'll approach it from this point on and look at that which is leaving me with reverence, because I haven't done that. I haven't been like throwing rocks at it, but I haven't been revering it. So thank you for sharing that with me, and thank you everybody for all your comments, because they're all very meaningful. Thank you for letting me speak.
I woke up yesterday morning and it's very hard to come in behind what you guys have said, because I'm really feeling everything that everybody's speaking about. It's like we're all coming from the same space, but from different vantage points, the same experience. And yesterday morning, I woke up very much in the depths of something that I didn't understand until I'm hearing all of you guys speak. And I'm very grateful for it. I think for me, the most important thing yesterday morning was to honor exactly how I was feeling and how I gave myself the space to do that exact thing. Instead of filling that void with something that would make me temporarily feel good or feel better, I wrote down something as well. I mean, Michael gave his from his vantage point or his perspective. Mine is very simple, but it was very real yesterday morning, and it was very, very raw. And I pretty much just let it have its way with me without even realizing what was trying to happen. And I've never felt the depths of these emotions like I did yesterday. I'm actually quite nervous even speaking about it now, that I've even had some space to integrate it. And it's perfect after listening to what you guys have all said individually, because for me then it almost validates where I'm at also. And I think where everybody out there is at, where there's aspects of themselves trying to leave and we're not trying to resist anymore. And that's alien. I know it's alien for me to do. So it's been liberating to hear each of you guys speak, because it gives me permission to really feel what I felt yesterday, even deeper. Like I can really feel it in my body right now, even as I'm trying to get these words out. Saskia talked about her core wounds and how deep her stuff was and how her heart cracked open. And I didn't even realize what was happening yesterday until now. Like this is happening really right now as I'm even speaking. I understand it right now, because following what Morgan said, it makes more sense. Even we spoke earlier on, and I was trying to get some words out earlier, but they fail me all the time. They just bloody fail me all the time, because they don't match what's just burning to come up and out of me. And yesterday I tried to capture it, and I wrote, feel it, let it consume you, let it tear you up, let it take you down, let it course through every fiber of your being with no resistance. Feel it. Let it ache to your core. Let it burn everything to the ground. Let your heart smash into a million pieces if it needs to. Let your sacred tears fall to the floor in reverence for what the heart has endured. Feel it. Let it have its way with you. Let the waves cleanse and wash away everything that is not true. Let it rise and let it fall. Let it hurt and then let it go. Let go. And then I was at home here last night. I spoke with Marina about this, and I really am. I'm only really grasping the magnitude of what went down. And it's happening again now, so I hope I keep my shit together to get this out. But the love, this love that I can only ever try, and the only thing that ever came close to this in this physical life that I've experienced to date was the birth of my 3 kids. And the first time I put my eyes on their faces, I'm like, whoa, I thought I knew what it was to be in love with somebody. And then I saw these 3 little humans, and I'm like, no, I didn't. And I've gone through quite a turbulent journey with somebody that I love very, very much, and who is just like the greatest mirror to me of me. And I mean, when I say the love that I felt last night for the place I was in, it's exactly like you said. It was like my heart just cracked wide open. And it really confused me so much, because I thought I was here, and then all of a sudden I'm here, and that's how fast this all flips. But the love I felt was just, it was just, I don't even have words, so there's no point in me even trying to go any further to say them. But I'm in awe of what happens when, I'm in awe of what happened for me when I let myself feel to the absolute depths of my core, where I literally thought everything was just gone. And it felt like a sum culmination of all of my hopes and dreams and wishes and experiences or whatever it might be, just gone. And I let it wash over me, and I let myself feel it. And I didn't realize what I'd done. Like, what I'd really done was create the space for that love to come up and out and through. And I'm just in awe of how this whole process works. And I love that in our own unique ways, because I'm not like Michael, I'm not like Saskia, I'm not like Morgan, I am them, that we're all having this experience, and we're all coming to the same space, and that's home. And I'm just very, very grateful to even be part of this right now, because I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know the correlation between all these things, the convergence. I mean, anybody watching this right now can see this in real time, how it actually works. And this isn't just happening on this screen. This is happening in everybody's world out there if they just slow down long enough to feel and look around them. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
The intel that I received that was leading up to this was that back in May, the females on the planet, not for separation, but the females on the planet were really stepping into their power. They were sorting out their own distorted masculine, and I got that by June that we had done that. It sort of started in May and was finalised in June, and then the men were going to enter that. What's happened for me in the last probably about 4 weeks ago is I actually felt I had incredible experiences of my divine masculine fully anchored and embodied, so much so that my light body, masculine light body, came out of my body, and I watched it make love to Todd's feminine light body. And our bodies were able to experience all of that. And then, you know, around that time, Todd had a couple of days where he was aware of this divine feminine essence coming in. And I said to Todd about a week ago, I want to give you the heads up, just give you the heads up that you're about to fully embody the divine feminine energy. So I understood, you know, what's happened in the last few days is that as our brothers did this, that automatically the sisters there was going to be a new alignment that occurred. And then with Saskia's dream today, and then this great man that messages me every now and again wrote to me this morning, and he said something about, you know, he gave numbers, but there's a certain amount of people that have achieved an avatar stance. You know, they've got their halos. I mean, he's just using different wording for the same thing that we're doing. And the rest of it, I forgot to, you know, I was talking to Michael about last night was, you know, through that I was shown that, like pregnancy, some babies arrive at 8 months, some at 8.5 months, some at 9 months. So, you know, some will be doing this, you know, a month early, and then that's easy for a baby to survive, you know, 4 weeks before it's due. But one by one, that we'll all be doing this in our own divine and perfect timing. That Saskia is right, it's available, it's there now, and all we really have to do is say yes to it. And that there would be a core wound that we needed to address to open the heart up in order for this to happen. And this was part of the gift for the 21st of December, although I've been given the dates 18th to the 21st of December when we birth the Trinity energy. So, you know, with the divine feminine and the divine masculine really being anchored and embodied in our human selves, we're now ready for this third energy, our own golden child, to be birthed and fully activated into our own Trinity, trinified energy with himself, which I understand, and well, actually was channeled as well, is our Christ consciousness energy. So, you know, really stepping into our full power of ourselves. So I love how this has all been like this step, and then you wait a little bit, and then that step, and then Todd does something, and then I do something, and then Todd does something, and I do something. That's how we experience it with ourselves. And for us, it seems to be that the females, the females seem to be going first, and then within a week or two or less, depends on, it doesn't even matter, but then he steps into it as well, and then you both activate like the next step that's available. So I love this. This is what you wanted, wasn't it, Michael? Where we all actually experiencing the same thing.
Yeah.
I think this is what your dream was.
Yeah, absolutely. Sister Saskia.
I don't know what to say right now. I don't know what to say right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm just in, well, maybe one thing, because this is what's happening as well at the moment, and it's a doubled-edged sword, and how so many of us are actually referring to, and I'm not meaning us so much, because I think in our case is rather clear, but in the spirit, within the spiritual community, so many people are referring to the same thing using different wording and different different ways of expressing ultimately the same thing, and fight over that, or disagree, have heavy arguments over the way they present things, but ultimately meaning the same thing, and they're not seeing that. So I think this is an interesting thing to observe at the moment, that at the end of the day, I mean, think about it, we all want the same. We all want the same. We all want love. We want to feel love. We want to feel loved. We want to love. We want to feel joy. And these are very basic things which we all want, and we all have in, you know, it is ours, but we're just making it very complicated on this planet. And we fight a million battles of how to get there. And we need to just, you know, Melissa, as you said as well, and we can't say that enough, we need to step back and be silent, go within, and just, you know, just stop listening at the, you know, I can never pronounce it correctly in English, cacophony. How do you say that?
Yeah. Cacophony.
It's just mad at the moment. So we really, really need to spend more time in silence, because that's the space where we can actually recognize and see how much we all want the same, and how much we are connected. And the noise makes it so hard. The noise is only showing us where we're not connected, how divided we are. But actually, we're not. We're not. It's just a silly illusion, and which is quite convincing here on this plane. But it's not true. It's not real. And the silence bit, going within, has never been more important. You know, just every day, just spend a bit of time with yourself, and just, you know, recalibrate where needed, and just to come back to basics, to just remember what's important in life, and what is it that you love about that person, and you know, your close circle. I don't know who mentioned that of you, but you start with your close circle and then you move outwards. And we need to find what we have in common, instead of, you know, just shouting about what we don't have in common.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, I think I'm just, this was it, Morgan. This was what I felt and saw. And what I've been observing is that a lot of us, I know for myself speaking, spent the better end of the last 8 years just recovering from a brain injury. But the gift in that was 2 of those years was mainly alone in a dark room. And what do you find in a dark room? You find stillness, right? You hear every wound has a voice. Every thought is alive, right? We call it vibrational signature. I love reading the different wisdom traditions, because biblically, when they talk about demons, right? I think they're talking about vibrational signature. They're talking about the different ways in which consciousness vibrates on a spectrum. You get to hear and feel everything that's out of resonance with the essence, and how it's taken over the form. And even when you start to observe and understand how thought creates, right? So in the old world, thought, right, was fed by our emotion, and then it was released into the physical, and we created a reality where we were experiencing pain. And then the gift of polarity was that everything became a reflection to touch the light. Now, as everything's dissolving, I said this a week or so ago, because we still, and I hear a lot of the messaging, we still get lost in the external. And the external is a beautiful macro illusion. And the external, right? The paradigm isn't dissolving outside of us. It's dissolving within us, because the external is a projection of the universe experiencing itself and creating this dance, weaving a story full of itself. And so what I've seen is that a lot of people who have spent a lot of years alone, right? Most of my dearest friends live alone, have spent years alone. Even we've all talked about this individually, with the exception of Brother Todd, who's been doing this and has meant to be doing this since the beginning. A lot of us are still like, like you said, Morgan, the human says no, but then you're being guided. Same with Saskia, same with Melissa, same with myself. And what you even feel in here, on here right now, and I know everyone can feel this, is you can feel the energy right now. It's tangible now. We've reached a quotient of light where the spirit can now interpret the external world, right? Pain isn't painting the reality anymore. And then to speak to what Melissa said, because Melissa, I have to tell you, you are someone in my life that when you speak, your vulnerability brings me to my darkest places, and it gives me permission to express that. So it's like, even as we reach a field of awareness where we're understanding what's happening inside of us, outside of us, we still are not immune to the progression. We still have to experience the birth. And so I know for myself, I cry a lot. I go into my room for hours and I lay there and I cry, and it's unbearable and it doesn't feel good. And it's intimidating at times, because you ask yourself, how many times do I have to experience the void? How many times do I have to spiral into the darkness? Right. And now how I see it for myself is, as I lay there, I watch myself just like releasing one identity at a time, one wound at a time, one story at a time, one person at a time. And now it feels good to speak to those wounds and to see every person that has made up every aspect of my reality inside time and space throughout however many lives I've journeyed, and realizing that all of it was me dancing with myself. And now we're laying there and we're honoring the death of a paradigm inside of us, inside of us, inside of us. We're watching it and feeling it collapse. And I know you have been talking about this a lot, Brother Todd, and I don't know if it resonates, if you want to speak to it, but I think it is powerful. You've been talking about how much it hurts and how much you've been going through it. And I think you and Brother Martin spoke on a live about it. And I think that what I've come to and where I'm at is, I know that the only thing I really can do, because I've seen and I'm seeing and witnessing it unfold, is just feel. I lay there and I feel it, and I feel it dissolve faster. And my mind's not creating stories behind it. It's almost like, and this one, you're going to like this, Melissa. It's like, she loves, what are they? Marvel movies, the Avengers.
Yeah.
Right? It's like when every form starts to dissolve into dust. That's actually what I feel like, because at the end, when we all shift, it's going to be pure energy and form, witnessing pure energy and form, witnessing itself. And then it's going to be, all right, now let's create from our heart a new reality. We've seen what a reality based in fear and separation looks like, and that was holy, and the universe wanted to experience it. It's not to be judged. The death is not to be judged, but as we cross this bridge, let's see what the universe wants to create in full remembrance and holding its hand with every other form. And not being afraid of the still points in between anymore. Because in the new reality, everything is being birthed in the pause, not from the pain. So stillness is where we will create in the new paradigm. And I feel something else I wanted to speak to is, and I know Morgan mirrors this, Saskia mirrors this to me in conversation often, is this isn't linear anymore. We've become multidimensional. We have accessed the formless state in form. The timeless and the eternal is entering the physical. And so even with this, and this is how the poetry of truth, a circle of love, and the word, what I felt in it and what I really admired about experiencing Rory's energy the other day is this. There is no linearity to this. When the spirit has spoken and it said everything it wants to say, it's honored, and it honors the silence, and it stops. So it's not anymore about we're having a 45-minute conversation. We're talking for an hour. We could come on and we can talk for 10 minutes and know that the voice has said everything it wants to say. The heart has spoken. Or we could come on and talk for 5 hours. We're moving into a space where nothing's to be conceptualized anymore. Everything's to be felt. And like when Brother Todd and Brother Martin and myself had that conversation a few months ago, there was this point where we all knew that every heart had spoken, merged into one. And the silence told us, we recognized the silence told us when the wave had been sent, when the energy had been sent out after it's synthesized. So with that being said, I love you all. And I'm excited to journey. I'm excited that the next time we all come together, Brother Martin will be here. And thank you to Marina and Israel, who are anchoring from behind the scenes. Their energy is a big part of this. And if there's anything you guys would like to say in closing, I just want to let you know that I have so much gratitude and so much love for each and every one of you.
Thank you for making this possible. It's incredible. And thank you for especially inspiring people who have, who just recently started doing this, like yours truly here, and many more of us. I mean, you would have asked me a few weeks ago, and I was there's no way I'm ever going to do any of this. So you have inspired, you've made this possible. I mean, Todd, you are just incredible. And Michael, what you've been inspiring is just, there are no words. So thank you for making all of this possible. And Todd, your website is just, well, that's another topic. Phenomenal. Thank you all so much.
Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Melissa.
I can't even talk. I can't. I'm in the fields big time, and I'm loving it. I'm just in it. I'm loving this energy, and thank you as well. You've no idea. This is like probably the biggest week of my life, and you're orchestrating everything, and you're behind me just going, go on, go on, go on. And I appreciate it, and I hate you at the same time, and I love you at the same time. I can't decide. Like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna have an actual heart attack, and you're like, "Oh, come on, come on!" But I'm so grateful that I'm just so grateful for you. I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for this. Thank you.
You want to close this out, brother?
What was that?
I was gonna go into the Michael.
I know when he's gonna do it, I can feel it.
Saskia said, everybody wants to be loved and they want to love, right? So when she was talking about all that, I was thinking more in figurative terms, metaphorical terms. Everybody wants to be touched, and everybody wants to touch. Everybody wants to love, and everybody wants to be loved. Uh, Whatever, 8, 9 years ago, when I was on the streets, my primary guide was Jesus, and he popped in one day, a few months into it, and he says, "You know, you don't have to suffer like I did." And ever since that day, every time I would go into pain, which is typically emotional pain, that's the first thing you see. I would, deal with the pain, but I would also think of those words and think, well, why is suffering still in my field? So the last couple of days or a couple of nights, this is the last night, as I was in my own thoughts, in the space that Morgan and I create together. And so what happened was I realized that I'm going to have to speak for myself. I don't want to say we like other people, but I don't know how to touch. I don't know how to be touched. I don't know how to love, and I don't know how to be loved. And what I mean by that is I figured out last night that the pain and the suffering, I figured it out. It was that I was afraid to let go of what I know as love or touch or whatever, and is what has been causing the pain. But at the same time, I got that now that you know this, if you just let it go, that's all we've been asking. That's why it hurts. So let go of what you said a minute ago. There's no conception, right? So let go of your conception of love and touch, to be touched and to be loved. And we, the you, me, we, and it, the universe will show you, well, it will blow your mind what it will show you, right? And so that's what I thought when she was talking about that. It actually connected the dots for me. So thank you, Saskia. And thank you for your kind words. And thank you, Michael and Morgan and Melissa. The next episode we're going to have will be on Thursday at 3:33.
Right.
I'm sorry.
You're not sorry. I want a What's the Crack t-shirt now for that. I demand it. Oh my God.
I'll get you one.
Oh,
I'll get
man.
you one. But thank you.
Right open there, Todd Medina. Oh my! Literally, as you were talking, I'm even getting more. I'm understanding more and more and more.
Well, I think this is the value of this type of thing, and I think I know some people here don't like lives, but there's something about lives that, especially when you have a mix like this, even 2 or more, that some really incredible things come out. And I think that's what happens. We connect the dots for each other. So I'm real happy to be part of this, and I've been seeing this for many, many years, and I've been saying for a long, long time that I don't want to be the only face out there. I don't mind doing it. I come to serve, but it's nice to see this all happening, and I'm really excited about it. That's all I got. Unless you want me to do a Michael poem.
Can I ask for one more thing? Along with the What's the Crack t-shirt and the Soulogy t-shirt line, can I have one that says 3:33? Please. Thanks.
Oh God, that's funny.
You gotta love the Irish. You gotta love it.
I love them.
I thought you'd block me after the other day.
Then okay.
Oh God.
Okay. All right.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you all.
All right.